Good morning and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take you through 6 points and how you can become more comfortable in front of the camera. So if you're a bit nervous in front of the camera, you want to pick up, you want to start vlogging, you'll start filming bits, but you've got anxiety, you don't know where to start, you don't feel confident, then this is the video for you. I'm going to give you 6 points on how you can feel more confident and become across more natural in front of camera. Do not give a flying about people's perceptions of you. You do you, okay? You don't need to worry, and I know that's quite difficult. It can feel quite intimidating and overwhelming speaking in front of camera, especially if you're in the public like I am now, but just don't care. No one actually cares if you're filming or not. It's so normal nowadays, everyone seems to do it. And if they do have a quick glance, they're probably just interested to see what you're doing. So don't let people's opinions affect you filming it. What's worse is going to happen? They might say a few remarks, they may look funny at you, who cares? Don't let that stop you doing what you want to do, because then you may never start that YouTube channel, start a social media channel. So the outcome is worse if you're too worried about what people are thinking about you. So just don't give a flying Got a wet bum from that last scene I just filmed. I wanted to sit down on the bench and it's been absolutely chucking it down here where I live. However, I wanted to do that talking headshot on a bench. I want to spice up the scenes a bit. Another thing, I know this is slightly off topic, however I'm using the Action 5 Pro. I was going to take my FX3, because of the weather and it's raining, I've left that at home. So I've done another video on why I think the Osmo Action 5 Pro is probably one of the best vlogging cameras of 2025. This is a good reason why. This is a prime example why, because of the weather. So I chose to use this small action cam instead of my sort of £4,000, £5,000 setup professional camera to make this video. And the quality is going to be just as good for YouTube, I'd say, anyway. Excuse the wind, I chose to do this outside instead. However, I might need to completely reshoot this video and do it inside. We shall see. Hopefully it works good. So, point number 2, practice. Practice makes perfect. Do you think professional footballers become professional footballers overnight? No, they practice, they put hours and hours and hours into perfecting their craft, and then they become that good at it. Practice makes perfect, as you've heard before. You're not going to pick up a camera straight away and be natural. Some might, that could be the case, but a lot of people, they won't. So you need to practice. You need to get up, get your camera and just shoot. Just practice talking to camera. The more you do it, the better you become. I remember when I first picked up a camera, it does seem very awkward at first, but one of the ways to overcome that is by practicing. I just pick it up, whatever camera it is, and I'd practice these talking to headshots. The more I've done it, the better I came, the more I flowed, the more I got into my rhythm. It's all about practice. If you don't practice, if you don't start somewhere, then you ain't gonna get any better. You just need to practice. Okay, that's all I can say on that point is practice makes perfect. Over time, you will become more natural and more confident in front of the camera and become less shy. The more you do it, the better you will get. It's that simple. Now, you've probably seen all these creators online thinking, wow, they're so good in front of the camera. They probably weren't when they first started. Maybe a few of them were natural, but they probably weren't natural straight away. And don't forget, there's the power of editing as well. So there might be several takes they would have took or filmed to make that segment in the video, and then they would have just used post-production to edit it. So practice, get your camera up first thing in the morning, around the house, and just start filming bits and get used to talking in front of the camera. Point number 3, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be you. If you try to put on this persona or try to be someone you're not, a copy of a creator in your line, you're gonna struggle and it's not gonna feel natural. If you just be yourself, it'll be so much easier. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be you. Over time, perfection will come, but for now, just be yourself. At the beginning, you're gonna be a bit rusty. But that's the whole part of this process. It's about learning and developing. Over time, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. Just be you. By being you, you make it so much easier. That way, it comes across a whole lot more natural and more pleasing for the viewer to watch. So like I said, it's not gonna be perfect when you first start, but nothing is. It's about trusting the process and enjoying it. Over time, you're gonna perfect it. You're gonna learn your craft and you're gonna find your style. But you just need to start. So don't worry about it not being perfect. Just film, edit, and get it out there. Over time, your videos will become better and you will find your niche, your style, the way you like to do things. So just remember, you're not going to be perfect at the start, but that doesn't matter. That's all part of the process. No one's perfect at the start. Just be you, be natural, and it'll be so much easier for you to do. Got a bit of a beastie hill to walk up. Doesn't look like it, but it is. So excuse if there's heavy breathing. That's me trying to control it whilst walking up this hill. Just had a fresh trim and I decided to walk home instead. So if you do struggle with speaking in front of the camera, this brings me on to my next point, bullet point or script. That way it gives you something to look at as a reference point to help you. Some people to pick up the camera, they're not sure what to say. But by having your script or your bullet point, this makes it a lot more easier and it helps things flow. I don't like to script. Some people do. They literally write a script out, read it verbatim. I personally prefer to do bullet points. And this is something I've always done, even when I've taught lessons and instructed before. I'll write bullet points down, and then when I see that bullet point, I'll elaborate on that point. For me, that's much easier. I'd rather not try and follow it verbatim, because then I might mess up, stumble across my words, and it just doesn't flow. So for me, bullet pointing works. And this is what I've done for this video. Decided, I knew what I wanted the video to be about. I jotted down the title, jotted down bullet points, and now as I'm walking about, sitting about places, I just keep checking my phone as reference, and then I look at the bullet points. So this is what, bullet point 4.4. So I whipped out my phone, I've got the bullet point, and then I talk about it. This is a great way to stay on track and to plan it. Some people, they can pick up a camera and they've all these points in their head and just start waffling and talking some sense. Me, I can sometimes do that. It definitely helps the pre-production to have some sort of plan in place. Like most things, you have a plan in place. So scripting or bullet pointing is definitely going to help you get your point across on videos and look and become more natural in front of the camera. Blowing out a bit. I think I was going probably a bit too fast. Probably should have just slowed down, taken it easy to get my points across a bit easier. Point number 5, rehearsals. Now, a lot of people can do this sort of stuff in one take. A lot of people can't. But a good thing to do, even teachers will do it. Again, when I was instructing, I would do a rehearsal. So I'd go through the lesson and do a full rehearse through so I know what it'd be like, and then you can pick up any points which you think went wrong and where to change. So this video, this is taking me, I think this is my 3rd attempt to film this shot. This is rehearsal. I'm getting the camera out, I'm pressing record, and I'm going through what I'm going to say. And then as I'm doing that, sometimes I'm nailing it, or sometimes I'm getting the take running right, hang on, that doesn't make sense. Let's leave that part out and restart it again. So rehearsals is key. Turn your camera on, start filming with what you think you're going to say, and rehearse. Go for a full run through, a full rehearsal of your bullet point of the script you want to say. That way you'll then get used to saying it, and again, come across more confident in front of camera. Point number 6 is a great one. Some say it's actually rather a controversial point, because sometimes it doesn't work for people, sometimes it does. But point number 6 is imagine the camera is a person. So imagine you are talking to someone instead of a camera. Now, some people prefer to talk to a person, some people prefer it to be a camera. But when I started, sometimes I would imagine that the camera is a person. I would use this to help me sometimes. I'd pretend the camera is a person. I'd pretend it's someone I'm comfortable speaking in front of, like my wife, or my parents, or a good friend. Pretend you're talking to them. That way it's going to feel more natural and normal. Just forget it's a camera. Just honestly pretend it's a real person. Because don't forget, on the other side of the camera, there's viewers watching this, and you want it to come across natural, and you are talking to them. So imagine it is a real person, or imagine you're talking directly to your audience. If that doesn't work, then just pretend it's a camera. For some people, they prefer the idea of it just being a camera, not a person, because they just get a bit anxious, they're introverts. So it depends what works for you. But you know, it's a good tip, if you hate talking in front of the camera, to pretend it is a real human being. And it could help, it can make you come across more natural. I'll finish off this video by saying thank you to everyone who's watched my last videos. All the feedback is much appreciated. I look forward to seeing you in the next videos, so please do like, subscribe and drop a comment below.